What is your relationship with pressure? The pressure to get things done, the pressure to do. Human design can give us an amazing insight into that from various different places in the chart, but the main one is the root center down the bottom of the chart. So if you're looking at your wrong way, always do the wrong way, it's this little one just down at the bottom, the root center. And whether it's defined or undefined. So on anyone's chart, doesn't matter whose chart you have, doesn't matter what color it is. If it's colored in, if it's a solid color, it means you have a defined root center. If it's white, if it's a white space on the chart, it means it's undefined. And just as a recap, what that means in human design world is if a center, one of those shapes is undefined, that's where you're absorbing and bringing in other people's energy, and it's kind of mixing with your own, and your kind of work through this lifetime is to distinguish what is yours and what is not yours. Where are you being influenced by outside of you? So we say that that is inconsistent energy because it does have this variability based on who you're with, where you are, the circumstances, the people you're with, like what energy are you, your environment, what energy are you absorbing at any one time. If you have it defined, then what we say with that is it's your energy and it's consistent to you. So it will be consistent to you, but it might be, there might be five people who have a defined route and they will all have a different relationship with pressure, but it's consistent to them. Whereas people with an undefined route, their relationship with pressure is actually highly influenced by others, other people. Um, so in terms of a kind of um, a basic overview of that root center and the relationship with pressure is if you have it defined, it tends to be yourself putting you under pressure. So creating your own deadlines. It's like the pressure comes internally from you, and you have a way of navigating when you feel you should be doing things and when things should be done. It doesn't always have an outside influence, or if it does have an outside influence, again, it's something that we have kind of decided somebody else needs at a certain time or point. So we tend to put ourselves under pressure to get things done. When it's undefined, the pressure, like I said, kind of comes from externally. So we will interpret something somebody else has said and turn that into a pressure to get things done. So, if you have an undefined rate, you can be sitting doing something, somebody asks you a question, and that question can get misinterpreted into feeling like, oh, I need to go and do something. Something needs to be done about this. And so that pressure can fit, and it can feel like that pressure is never relief because there's always something to do. And there can be this feeling that as you're constantly trying to get things off your to-do list to relieve the pressure, but actually that pressure's not technically there. It's been created by this outside system. And so what you need to do in both situations really is look at your relationship with pressure. Where is this pressure to get these things done coming from? Is it from an external source? Is it internally something you are creating? And how real is this need to get these things done? In both cases, you can ask the same question. Like if you're feeling under pressure, like really look at and the defined or the undefined gives you a clue as to where to look first. So you're looking outside of you, and have you turned something that isn't really a need into a need from outside of you, or is it coming from inside of you where again you've decided that this has to be done now, does it? So our relationship with pressure can change over time depending on what's happening. Um, and so it's really good to step back and evaluate. just where is this coming from in my system? How is my system interpreting this? How am I, what is my relationship with pressure like? And if you want to look at this more, you can do a deeper dive. This is like just a tiny overview of like, where is this pressure coming from within my system? There are gates, in those centers, in that center, in the sacral center, in the root center. Actually, each of those gates have a different pressure that they bring. So you can do a deeper dive into that. This is why I love the human design system so much, is because it asks good questions. Regardless of where it comes from or what it actually says in your chart, it actually just asks really good questions that are really good for us to look at and see what is happening. So if you go and you do a deeper dive on the root center, it's asking us, where is the pressure to do coming from? It's a pressure center. So it's asking us to look at this system regardless of what it says in our chart. So that's why I love it so much. It asks good questions. And once we create more awareness within ourselves of what's actually happening and how we're processing this and how we're reacting to these things, then we can operate much more effectively. And we can build that awareness, which builds this ability to trust our own decisions and know, hang on a minute, this is not mine. I don't need to be doing this. Or hang on a minute, I've made up this pressure. Like, I don't have to do this now. Like, where is this coming from? So it asks good questions, and that's one of the questions that the root center asks us to have a look at.